Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Once again, my name is Scott Carter, and I'm a licensed therapist. Welcome back to my therapy office. This is where the magic happens. This is where I hope parents have better relationships with their teenagers. I really do. I really believe I can show that my approaches, my stuff works. I essentially have created a lot of my own materials and a lot of my own approaches to teenagers, parenting, and the teen and parent relationship. And it just works, man. I get a lot of stubborn parents who want to keep doing the same thing over and over and expect the kids to change. But as I often argue, as a parent, it's up to you to recognize when something's not working and try something different. To me, I have learned over the years, because I've worked with troubled teenagers, I've worked with large groups of teens in groups. Sometimes those groups consisted of like some of the roughest kids the system has managed to scrape up all together in one place. But I learned years ago that my approach or my response to things completely changed the outcome. And so I want to talk today, the topic of this video has to do with a phrase that I frequently hear from adults and teens, and it has to do with attention seeking, okay? Like specifically if it comes to perhaps self-harm and cutting, or expressing suicidal intentions, or acting out, having bad behaviors, or acting like a clown to get attention, okay? And I hear this from teens and parents, that he or she just wants attention. So that may be true. I will concede to that point, that perhaps, yes, they do want attention. But here's my argument. What's wrong with wanting attention? Why is that a bad thing? In fact, I am going to argue that kids who want attention should be given attention. To be clear, they should be given positive attention. And we should be careful that we don't pay attention to negative behaviors, because we can reinforce a negative behavior very easily and giving attention to bad behaviors can absolutely reinforce them. But here's the type of positive attention that these kids should get, okay? Number one, they should be recognized for any positive thing that they do. If they say please or thank you, or if you say, hey, take out the garbage, and they don't fight you on it, and they just get up and take out the garbage without complaining. If they get a good grade on a test, even on a quiz, you can reinforce that behavior. But I would argue that the kids who engage in a lot of attention-seeking behaviors need to be given attention. Give them positive attention. And here's why, okay? Attention validates them, okay? And we have a tendency to be like, oh, little Jimmy is engaging in attention-seeking behavior, let's just ignore them. And sometimes that is going to be really counterproductive, because they're just going to try harder. They're just going to try harder to get attention. So here are some positive ways, and I've already given an example. Point out the good things they do. That's one positive way to give them attention. But I also believe in being like preemptive about it, like being deliberate about it. So this question came up one day. I was doing a presentation for the school district. I was talking to them about troubled kids and issues that kids have. They're struggling, every school has these kids where they're just like, we don't know what to do with this kid, right? And one of the teachers asked me, she said, what do I do with that kid that is constantly seeking attention? Well, first of all, if there's a kid in their class who's constantly seeking attention, that kid is probably not getting any attention at home. And they're seeking that validation. Attention, when kids get attention, it validates them. It's validating, okay? And so this teacher said, what do I do? What do I do with this kid that's constantly attention seeking? Because she was trying to ignore him. Oh, little Jimmy's over there trying to get attention again. And if I just ignore him because he's bothering me, well, that usually just results in him trying to get more attention, or trying harder to get attention. So this is what I told the teacher. I said, give him positive attention. Here's what you do. I said, the next time you see that kid and he comes walking through the door, you just see him, go up to him. initiate the contact and initiate attention seeking, or initiate the attention that you're giving to him. Just go up to him and look him in the eye. Make sure you make eye contact. That is the validation thing. That is the point of contact that helps kids feel like they're being paid attention to. Use their name. So I told her, I said, go initiate a discussion with him. Hey Jimmy, how are you doing today? What did you have for breakfast? Did you have Lucky Charms? Do you like Lucky Charms? I think they're gross. Do you like them? What do you think? What did you have for dinner last night? Anything interesting happened yesterday? Tell me about it. Listen to the kid, give him eye contact, even just a couple of minutes, and that kid feels validated. So as a parent, here's my advice to you, because I often hear about parents and they come home from work and they're tired and they're exhausted and they're stressed and they just want to take a break. And what happens when they walk in the door? The kids are hanging on them and bugging them, and they just kind of wish that their kids would go away. I hate to break it to you, but that's going to do more harm than good in the long run. And if you don't want to come home from work and have to validate your children, don't have children. If you want to come home and just have your children be completely self-sufficient like a cat, then you need to manage your expectations. Kids do not operate that way. But I'm going to give you a tip, okay? Give them attention. You walk in the door, and if you have 3 kids, give each one of them a little bit of attention, like one-on-one. Again, eye contact. Use their name. Sit down. Hey, how was your day? What'd you have for lunch? What'd you do for fun today? Did you see that thing that happened today? Did you see your friend today? Did you guys do anything fun? If you spend like 10 minutes with that kid, they're going to feel validated. They're going to get that need met for the day, and then they're going to disappear on you. They're going to go off and play. And if you preemptively strike, you're going to do a whole lot more good than harm in the long run, rather than trying to spend the rest of the night expecting them to leave you alone. Okay. Here's another thing that I ask parents to do, is that when they're trying to get a lot of things done in the house, like, I need you to take out the garbage, and I need you to clean your room, and I need you to do your homework, blah, blah, blah. And the parent is doing their own thing. Maybe they're doing the dishes. Maybe they're trying to get some things accomplished. And hey, little Billy, hey, little so-and-so, I need you to do this or that and the other. And the kid is like, okay, and just kind of ignoring him. So this is what I want you to do. Take 5 seconds. Go use their name. Make eye contact with them. Use their name. Hey, Emily. Okay, I need you to not do that any longer, and I need you to go to this right now, okay? And not only does that generally get a better response out of them, they're like, all right, fine, and they go do the thing that you want them to do, but that eye contact, that touch base with them, it actually validates them. They feel like mom and dad care, they're engaged with me on a subconscious level. That's what they need. That's what kids need from their parents. They may not like what you're saying or want them to do, but subconsciously that's what makes them feel like you are there with them, you care about them, and you love them and are validating them, okay? So anytime, here's the bottom line, anytime I hear that, oh, just so-and-so is just doing that for attention. Okay, well then let's give them some attention, because there's nothing wrong with wanting attention. I don't want them to get it in negative ways. I don't want them to get attention through, expressing suicide or self-harming or doing drugs or acting out, getting in trouble. But if I give them positive attention, they're less likely to seek attention in that negative way. And this is a topic for another video, but I've seen more kids than I can count over the years that have learned that the only way that they get any attention is by doing bad things. And parents bring their kids in and they go, I'm just tired of the bad behavior. And then I find out that anytime that Junior does anything good, it completely ignored. And I bring it to the parents' attention, and this is what I usually hear. Well, that's just what's expected. Well, I tell you, it's not working. You need to validate the positive behaviors and put less emphasis on the negative ones, because they have learned that giving you a negative behavior gets your attention. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Go check me out on Patreon if you want to become a patron and have some really stellar and exclusively, I believe, outstanding content for parents to help them as they raise difficult kids. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.